Hello, participants on the Interact workshop on Capitalisation post-2020. My name is Pascal Boijmans. I'm the head of a unit in DG Regio dealing with cross-border cooperation along the internal borders of the European Union in Regio D2. And I would like to greet you from Brussels. Unfortunately, nobody from our team nor from our sister unit D1 could be present today, but I still would like to send this video to you to show the importance we attach to capitalization. And to start with the good news, it's today Wednesday, and this afternoon there has been a political agreement reached on the full regulation of the Interreg regulations. So we have a stable legal framework for negotiating for the next programming period. So which is good news. And capitalization also appears in the regulation, especially under the part which is defining the tasks of Interact. And not surprisingly, circles around that we're also discussing today capitalization at the Interact seminar. Well, capitalization, when you look at the current program period, 2014-2020, it's not clearly present in our regulation, or at least not very well defined. And what has become clear throughout the years that capitalization is clearly much more than only communication and exchange of good practices. And I'm not telling you anything new. That's what you're going to discuss here today. But I saw in the documents, underlying documents for Interact, that they have already been giving a definition of capitalization in 2016, and where I think the main element for me when I read it is to bring more structure and to bring more strategy in capitalization. It's not something you do on an ad hoc basis. It's not only communication, it's not only exchange of good practice, but you have a whole package of different tools and instruments which you try to bring together in one strategy to make, first of all, to make knowledge and results of projects more accessible. Secondly, to work on the base of those results from individual projects to do more content analysis and benchmarking so that you increase the knowledge on specific topics and projects. Then thirdly, to reuse and use this knowledge and transfer this knowledge to all the relevant stakeholders. And finally is the fourth element, the awareness raising and improving the communication, I would say almost the classic part. So this is what I think is the bringing governance into the whole element of capitalization process is a key condition for creating a friendly environment in which stakeholders can work together, are willing to exchange information, trust each other, and really improve their know-how and the common know-how of a whole group working on one specific topic. So bringing structure and governance is also something which I experienced myself. I'm participating in another Interact workshop on better coordination between Interact programs in this case in the Mediterranean and the Adriatic Ionian region, where I think it's very clear from the discussions that there's a clear willingness between programs to work better together and work more together. But sometimes time is lacking, capacity is lacking, and also the knowledge is lacking. So we try to build up now new structures for the next program period, where at least programs operating within the same region, around the same sea basin, are much better aware of what each program is doing, and also in order to identify when programs work together on a similar specific objective, so that they can coordinate who is doing what and to look for the right synergies. Also that for me is part of capitalization, better coordination and communication between the different programs. This is more the theory, and I'm not pretending to be an expert in capitalization. You have the experts there from Interact who are going to explain to you today and tomorrow the different issues. But what are the tools available from the side of the Commission? What do we see, which elements could contribute also to further capitalization? Well, first and foremost, the most obvious one is the technical assistance in your programs. Technical assistance is available for this type of activities as long as it's related to the direct management of the programs and the projects. But if you go further, and I think capitalization, the idea behind it is to go further to build up, for example, networks between specialists in a certain area. Let's take the example of crisis management, or not only for natural disasters, but for example now health crisis, which also has a clear cross-border component. Then I think it's also very interesting for you to look under the possibilities offered by the new specific objective for better cooperation governance. I think also this could be a very interesting option to explore, where, for example, also the improvement or the strengthening of the institutional capacity of public authorities is an area which can be supported, and where certainly also capitalization can contribute, and also certain studies also on capitalization could also be supported under this new specific objective. And we, from the side of Commission, we encourage you very much to look into the possibilities of this new specific objective, because it offers for us a new way of how Interact programs can only contribute to activities which go beyond only funding individual projects. Supporting tools are of course very important, like databases on individual projects. Well, the KEEP database is of course one of the best tools, or maybe the best tool for working. But also I would like to invite you to explore the open data platform on the Regio website, which is not only containing financial information and information on indicators, but also is going to include more and more projects. And there are already a few included, also Interact projects, but this should be extended. It should also become a library of projects. Then furthermore, also an interesting tool you might know is the peer-to-peer instrument, under which we can offer short exchanges between managing authorities, intermediate bodies directly involved in the management of the program, I have to say. It can also be, in some cases, it can also be beneficiaries, when it's very important strategic beneficiaries, for example, railway companies or energy companies, where we can offer the possibility to have study visits to other projects, to other programs, to see how they are doing it. An expert can also come to you, to visit you, to give advice. And we can also support small-scale seminars under this peer-to-peer instrument. It's totally cost-free. It's paid by the Commission. Of course, at this moment, traveling is a bit more difficult, but a lot of virtual seminars and exchanges are being organized right now. And the feedback is very positive. It's very much hands-on. Then we also have set up under the border focal point the Futurium platform, which is a platform under which all stakeholders involved in cross-border cooperation or in Interact in wider sense can participate, can exchange information, publish studies, submit questions, and this Futurium has been running now already for a certain period, but we're also going to boost it in the coming year. We have charged a professional communication company who is going to help us into bringing it to a different level, the Futurium platform. But it's also certainly something where you can find a lot of information about pilot projects, cross-border cooperation in transport, health sector, multilingualism, e-government, so just to name a few topics which I mentioned on the Futurium website. Of course, the Commission can also help you by making more knowledge available via studies and analysis. So we did studies in the last year on cross-border cooperation in the health sector, with an overview of very good and interesting projects. We did a study 1.5 years ago on missing railway links throughout the European Union, and we currently have just launched a study on cross-border public transport services, where we hope to present the results by the end of next year. And finally, also something which we encounter more and more is the lack of good statistics and data, especially cross-border data are not so widely available, and you need good data to define good policies and to make good analysis. So also, and to do good benchmarking above all, that's also an important element of working on better data. And again, better data is also one of the topics which we can support under the new specific objective for better cooperation governance. This list is not exhaustive, but there could be elements which you could, for example, include in the toolkit, in the capitalization toolkit, which you're also going to discuss during your seminar. So that's all for me. Once again, it was not an exhaustive list. I just hope to have given you some ideas and input for further reflection and for debate. And once again, I would like to wish you a very fruitful and constructive seminar on capitalization. Thank you very much and goodbye.